Okay. So, first of all, I'm going to show you the experimental video of the TLC that we are already discussed in the previous lecture. Okay, then after that, we will continue our today's class.
Hello everyone, welcome to the ITLS Academy. I am Shreya. I am here to perform an experiment that is to separate the amino acids present in sample by TLC. TLC stands for thin layer chromatography. Its principle is chromatography is a technique in which we separate the compound present in a sample. In chromatography, there are two phases. One is the stationary phase and another is mobile phase. There, here in our experiment, the stationary phase is TLC plate in which a thin coating of silica gel will be coated. Hence, the silica gel is known as the stationary phase. Separation depends upon many factors. First is solubility of compounds. Second, attraction between the compounds and silica. Third, size of compounds. Here we have a formula that is retardation factor, which is distance traveled by substance from origin upon distance traveled by solvent from origin. Amino acids which are present into the sample have different affinity to bind with the silica, and it is based on R group. Amino acids strongly bind covered shortest distance. Amino acids are colorless compound that only uh, that's why we use ninhydrin to detect them. Ninhydrin react with alpha amino acids. When we add ninhydrin, we will able to see purple color spots. Purple color spots will form due to the formation of complex called Rubman's purple. For this for this experiment, we required chemicals like acetone, ninhydrin,
Acetone is act as a mobile phase, okay? And ninhydrin, we spray the ninhydrin so that we will get that spots.
and silica coated plates. I prepared this silica gel slide by using 2 gram of silica in 10 ml of distilled water and by drying it overnight. You can use pre-silica gel plates also for this experiment. Here we have materials too. Uh, First is weighing balance and distilled water, beaker, measuring cylinder, TLC jar, and spatula, and hot air oven. Here we have BSA, which I am using as standard amino acid, and it contains 500 amino acids. To prepare our sample, we need zero point 0.5 gram of BSA in 5 ml of distilled water. This is 5 milligram of BSA. Now I will prepare this solution in 5 ml of distilled water. For making the solution, we will use beaker. Now I am dissolving BSA here. Our sample is ready now. We have to draw a horizontal line in this silica gel coated plate. For after that, we require our sample below this point, for which we have to put our sample on this point. I have added the sample on that point in the silica gel coated plate. Now I am adding 5 ml of acetone in this TLC jar.
Experiment is clear till now. Anybody have any doubt?
Solvent level should be below the line which we have drawn on this plate. Now we have to put this plate in this solution for the capillary action, for which we will notice that the amino acid which have lower affinity will move faster, and the amino acid which have higher affinity will move slower. And we have to wait for 1 hour for the capillary action. After removing the slide from the solvent after 1 hour, I got the reading of 2.3 centimeter of solvent which covered the distance. Now I am going to put this slide into the hot air oven for 10 minutes. Ma'am, भूल गई. So after removing this slide from the hot air oven after 10 minutes, I will put ninhydrin here to get the reading of that particular component travel. After putting the ninhydrin in the slide, I got this purple color point at the distance 1.7 centimeter. Now I have to put these values into this formula, that is RF is equal to distance traveled by the substance from origin upon distance traveled by the solute from origin. Thanks for watching. For further queries, you can contact us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Do like, share, and subscribe.
Clear? Experiment is clear? Okay. So the next is reagent preparation.
And what is silica gel?
Silica is a solution, okay? See, silica means that, I will write here, okay? Silica is a chemical, okay? Now what we have to do, we dissolve that silica into water. Then it become the silica gel. So in an experiment, you will see that a plate is coated with the white color material. That white color material is what? It is the silica gel. We covered that slide with the thin layer of the silica gel. Clear?
Okay, clear.
Anyone else? Anything else? Anyone?
मैम ये वीडियोस जो है ये अकाउंट्स में अवेलेबल है क्या?
हाँ, कुछ आपके अकाउंट्स पे अवेलेबल होंगी और कुछ मैं आज जो है वो ऐड कर दूंगी. ओके?
ओके ओके
अभी तक कुछ कुछ तो अवेलेबल होंगी ना?
हाँ अवेलेबल है, मतलब ये जो वीडियोस हैं
हाँ हाँ, ये आपको मिल जाएगी. ठीक है.
ओके
Our next topic is preparation of the reagent. Okay, in the previous lecture, I told you about the different reagents. Okay, now first of all, what is this reagents are? Do you know about the reagents? Anyone? Reagents is simply the chemicals compounds which are prepared when we dissolve that chemical into the distilled water. Okay. So what we have to do, we take a definite amount of the chemicals and that chemicals will be dissolved into the distilled water, and sometimes we can also dissolve the chemicals into the organic solvent. Okay, so this is known as a reagent, and that reagent is used in different chemical process. So basically reagents are what? Reagents are the chemicals compound which are prepared when chemical is dissolved into the distilled water. That is your reagents. Reagents are simply the chemical compound which is used to cause a reaction, and it is also used for the detection of the specific compounds. If we talk about the biochemical analysis, then this reagent are used for the identification of the carbohydrates, protein and other biomolecules. Okay, in today's presentation, we have to cover the biochemicals reagents. Okay, now these reagents are what? The Molish reagent, iodine reagent, Bradford reagent, Banach reagent, Falling, Wiles, Selivanov, and phenyl hydrazine reagent. Okay, we will see that how these reagents are formed and what is the use of this reagent. So the first reagent is your Molish reagent. Molish reagent is used for the detection of the carbohydrate present into the sample. Okay, simply when we have to detect the carbohydrate present, we use the Molish reagent. Okay, see this Molish reagent is only give the qualitative test. Qualitative test, not the quantitative test. Means that it only indicate either the presence of the carbohydrate or either the absence of the carbohydrate. But how much amount of carbohydrate are present into the sample is detected by the another method. Now here what happens, suppose that we have a sample. Now this sample contain the carbohydrates. These carbohydrates are dehydrated. Dehydrated in the presence of the sulfuric acid, Kong sulfuric acid, due to which a furfural is formed or hydroxymethyl furfural is formed. Then this will react with that alpha naphthol, and due to that reaction, a ring is formed. That ring is violet in color. Okay, and that ring is formed just in between the junction of the two chemicals. So this is a purpose of that Molish reagent. Now for the preparation of the Molish reagent, we required alpha naphthol plus ethanol. What we have to do, we take a beaker and in a beaker we add 50 ml of ethanol. Here ethanol percentage is 99.99%, which is available in our laboratory. Okay, then we added the 5 gram of alpha naphthol. Then we dissolve it. When it is completely dissolved, then we add the remaining 50 ml of the ethanol. Then its volume become 100 ml. But you cannot add at once 100 ml into the 5 gram of the alpha naphthol because it cannot be dissolved properly. When we prepare a solution, we divide the solvent into the two category. First, we dissolve that solute into the half of our solvent. When it is completely dissolved, then we add the remaining amount of the solvent into that solution. After preparation of the Molish reagent, we can store it into the amber bottle so that it can prevent the degradation. Then after that, we have to label that amber bottle with the name of the reagent, that is your Molish reagent, along with the date. Means suppose that if you prepare the Molish reagent today, so you have to mention the 31st October 2025. Clear? Clear my point? Now, the next is iodine reagent. Iodine reagent is used to detect the presence of the starch. Here, iodine molecule is inserted into the amylose helix. Then it forms a blue-black color complex. Then for the preparation of the iodine reagent, again we required a beaker in which we add the 50 ml of the distilled water. Then after that we have to add the 0.5 gram of iodine crystal. Along with it we have to add the 5 gram of the potassium iodide. When it is completely dissolved, then we add the remaining 50 ml of distilled water. Add remaining 50 ml of distilled water. Okay, then again you have to store it into the amber bottle with proper labeling. With proper labeling. Now the next reagent is your Bradford reagent. Bradford reagent is used for the quantification of the protein and along with the detection of that reducing sugar. Sorry, Bradford reagent is used for the qualitative analysis of the monosaccharide. Qualitative analysis of monosaccharides. Okay, either we can use it in the quantification of the protein molecules or either the qualitative analysis of that monosaccharide. Here we use a dye that is known as a Comesi Brilliant Blue G250, which is bind with that proteins or the carbohydrates, due to which a brownish red to blue color is due to which the brownish red color is shifted to the blue. Means that before adding this dye, the color of the solution is brownish or red color, but when we added the Comesi Brilliant Blue G250, then it bind with that monosaccharides or the carbohydrate and it turned its color into the blue color. This is about the Bradford reagent. Clear? Clear? See, the preparation of the reagent is very important because when we see the procedure of all the experiment, we only discuss that we will add this ml of that reagent, this ml of that reagent. Okay, we at that time we are not going to discuss about the preparation of the reagents. We only discuss how much amount we will add into the solution. Preparation of the Bradford reagent. See, Bradford reagent, again what we have to do, we have to take the beaker. In a beaker, we have to take the 50 ml of 95% ethanol. Then we have to add the 100 milligram of this dye, that is Comessi Blue G250. Then we have to add the 100 ml of 85% of phosphoric acid. Then we have to mix it properly and make up volume 1 liter. See, makeup volume 1 liter means that you have to subtract the volume of the ethanol and volume of the phosphoric acid from that total volume, that is 1000 ml. You have to subtract that. This is the, then again you have to store it into the dark water with the proper labeling. Bannatic reagent. Bannatic reagent is used for the detection of the reducing sugar. Here when we use this reagent, there is a cupric ion present into that reagent. Okay, that cupric ion react with the reducing sugar and reduces that cupric ion into that cuprous oxide, due to which a color change is occur. Now, for the preparation of the Bannatic reagent, we require sodium citrate, anhydrous sodium. So, we take this 173 gram of the sodium citrate and 100 gram of the anhydrous sodium carbonate, which is dissolved into the 100 ml of the distilled water. In 1 beaker, we have to dissolve sodium citrate and anhydrate sodium carbonate. Take, that is 173 gram and 100 gram. And we add 800 ml of that distilled water into it. And separately we have to prepare the copper second sulfate pentahydrate. So again we take 100 ml of the distilled water and 17.3 gram of this copper sulfate pentahydrate. Then after that we add the copper solution into the sodium citrate solution and mix it properly. Then we make up a volume 1 liter with the help of that distilled water and store it into the amber bottle with the proper labeling. Clear? Clear? Fehling reagent. Fehling reagent is used for the detection of the reducing sugar, and the procedure is same. Principle is same. That is we learn about that Bannatic test. Here a brick red precipitate is present. Cuprous oxide is produces that brick red precipitate. Then when we prepare a Fehling reagent, we have to prepare it into the 2 part, A or B. So for A, we take a copper second sulfate pentahydrate around 34.65 gram and dissolve it into the 500 ml of the distilled water. Now, when it is completely dissolved, we store it into the bottle and label as a Fehling solution. Like 34.65 gram. First of all, it is dissolved into that 250 ml of the distilled water. When it is completely dissolved, then we add the remaining 250 ml of the distilled water, and then we store it into the bottle and label as a Phallic solution A along with the date. Then we prepare the second solution, that is your Phallic reagent solution B. For this we required potassium sodium tartrate and sodium hydroxide. Now again what we do, we take that 173 gram of that potassium sodium tartrate plus 50 gram of sodium hydroxide. Now when it is like we dissolve it into that 250 ml of the distilled water, when it is completely dissolved, then we add the remaining 250 ml of that distilled water and store it into bottle and label as a Phallic solution B. Now when we have to perform a Phallic test, we prepare a Phallic solution by the combination of A and B in a equal amount, and this solution should be prepared freshly. Clear? Then Biles reagent is used for the detection of the pentose sugar. Okay, here the principle is that pentoses form a furfural when it is treated with that HCl, and which react with the resorcinol, then it produces the green color. Here we take a 0.4 gram of resorcinol. Orcinol is also known as a resorcinol in 200 ml of the 200 ml of the concentrated HCl. Then we add 0.1 gram of the ferric chloride, mix it properly and store into the DOC bottle with proper labeling. Next is your Selivanov reagent, which is used for the distinct between the aldoses and ketoses. Here the ketosis is react repeatedly with the acid and produces the red color complex with the resorcinol. We take this 0.05 gram of resorcinol into 33 ml of the concentrated HCl. Then we make up volume 100 ml with the help of the distilled water and store into the glass stopper bottle with proper labeling. Clear? Reagent preparation is clear? Okay. Now our next topic is your qualitative analysis of ketose reducing sugar fructose. See, the introduction part of this video, like what is that fructose sugar, that are already uploaded in your account. Okay, you can visit it and see that video, and if you have any doubt, just let me know. Here we will discuss your core syllabus, which is the qualitative analysis of the reducing sugar ketose fructose. Okay, but the additional part I'm already recorded it and upload in your account. Clear my points? Okay. Now, qualitative analysis of reducing sugar fructose. First of all, we see the solubility test. For the performance of the solubility test, this is your first test, we required 4 solvent. The first one is your water. The second one is your hot water. And the third one is your dilute HCl, and the fourth one is your ethanol. Now what we have to do, we take a pinch of the sample. Small amount of sample. Small amount of sample. Small amount of sample. Small amount of sample. Now what we have to do, first of all, we take a small amount of the sample and dissolve it into the normal water, and we will see that it is soluble, means that the sample is soluble into the normal water. Again, we take a sample and dissolve into the hot water and see that it is soluble. Then we take a sample and dissolve it into the dilute HCl and we see that it is soluble. Then we take a sample and dissolve it into the ethanol and see that it is soluble. Then we conclude that it is maybe monosaccharide. It is maybe monosaccharide. This is about the solubility test. The next test is your Molish test. For the performance of the Molish test, we take a test tube. And in a test tube, we have to add the 2 ml of the sample, 2 ml or 2 gram of sample. Then we add 2 drops of Molish reagent. And how we prepare that Molish reagent, we are already discussed about it. Okay, here we are not discussing it. Then after that, we have to add the 2 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid, but it should be added just by the side of the test tube. By the side of the test tube. Okay. When you add that concentrated sulfuric acid, you have to add the side of the test tube. Then we observe that purple color ring is formed. Which indicate the presence of carbohydrates. It indicates the presence of that carbohydrates. Now the next test is your iodine test. For iodine test, again we have to take the test tube, and in a test tube we have to add the 2 to 3 ml of sample and 2 drops of iodine reagent, and we observe that there is no color change, which indicate the absence of polysaccharide. Indicate the absence of polysaccharide. Clear? These 3 tests is clear: solubility, iodine and Molish. Now the 4th test is your Bradford test. Again, we have to take a test tube and add 1 ml sample. and 5 ml of Banning reagent, sorry, Badford reagent. Then after that, we keep it in water bath. Keep it in water bath for 1 to 3 minutes. And we observe that red PPT is formed, which indicate the presence of monosaccharides. Clear? Clear? Now, next is your Bannick reagent. Again, we take a test tube, add 1 ml sample, 5 ml Bannick's reagent, and keep it in water bath for 2 minutes. Then after that, we will observe that blue color is changes into the orange color, which indicate the presence of reducing sugar. Clear? See, here we cover two topics. The one is your qualitative analysis of ketose reducing sugar fructose, and the another one is your qualitative analysis of the pentose. Till now, all the test is common. The different tests will be discussed in the later slides. After Banning, we perform our Falling test. For this, again, we take a test tube, and in a test tube, we have to add 0.5 ml of sample and 5 ml of Falling's reagent. Then we heat the mixture. If brownish orange precipitate is formed, indicate the presence of reducing sugar. Clear? Then sixth is your Biles test. Again, we take a test tube and add 5 ml of the Biles reagent plus 5 ml of sample. Then after that, we keep it in what? Keep it in water bath for 5 minutes. And if now when we perform the ketose reducing sugar, then there is a absence of green color, which indicate the absence of pentose sugar. Now the last is Selivanov reagent or test. Again, we take a test tube and add 0.5 ml of sample plus 5 ml of the reagent. Then we heat it. Cherry color indicate the presence of ketose sugar. See, this Selivanov test is the main test for the detection of that ketose sugar. Okay. If you get the sample and you will only perform this test and you will get that cherry red color, then it means that it is the ketose reducing sugar, that is fructose. Clear? Clear my points? Now the next is your qualitative analysis of pentose sugar. Here we will only discuss the main test for this, and all the tests are similar. Okay. So the first test that we are going to discuss is a solubility test. So we take the again 4 solvent: water, hot water, concentrated HCl, and ethanol. And when we dissolve the sample into it, we will see that the sample is only soluble into the water and hot water, and less soluble in ethanol, which indicate that it is maybe pentose sugar. Clear? Now for the confirmation test of this, we perform the Biles test. For this, we take a test tube, and in a test tube, we will add the 5 ml of the Biles reagent plus 5 ml of the sample. Then we keep it in water bath for 5 minutes and observe that green color formation. This green color formation indicate the presence of the pentose sugar, and the remaining test is similar. Clear? Only when the pentose sugar is present, then the remaining hexose sugar is absent. So it gives the negative Salivron's test, and but it give the positive reducing sugar and monosaccharide test. Clear? Okay, now I will show you the experimental video of this. First of all, qualitative analysis of the fructose, then the qualitative analysis of that pentose. Okay, I'm here. If you have any doubt, just let me know.
Hello everyone, welcome to the ITLS Academy. I am Shreya. I'm going to perform an experiment that is qualitative analysis of ketose reducing sugar, fructose. Principle of this experiment is ketose dehydrate rapidly in concentrated HCl to form hydroxymethyl furfuryl, which condenses with resorcinol to give a red colored complex aldose, react much slower and give giant pale pink only on prolonged heating. In this experiment, we required a test. The name of the test is Sullivan's test. For performing this test, we required resorcinol reagent and sample in 10 ml of concentrated H. Performing this test, we required 1 gram of resorcinol reagent in 100 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid. Now we are proceed towards the procedure. For this, we need 1 ml of sample in a test tube, 1 ml of sample in a test tube with 2 ml of reagent. Yeah. So this is 1 ml of resorcinol reagent and 2 ml of 1 ml of sample and 2 ml of resorcinol reagent. Now I am going to heat this solution for 1 to 2 minutes. We have to heat this solution for 1 to 2 minutes. So here the indication of this reddish layer